I'm sorry, but I'm a bit late. This evening, I should do the Heartmaster. I'm stuck in the traffic. I should get online at 7:35, around that. So in case, let me know if you can, if I can still do the Heartmaster. And see you later. Thanks.
Hey, Mama.
Hi, Anuj. Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you doing? I don't know if I
It
think
has been long. Have you been away?
I have. Yeah, I've been kind of. It's just so happened that all the times when the meetings are there, I'm traveling. In fact, I'm in Ireland right now.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, I thought, okay, let me join in for a bit before I go
Yeah,
out for
sure.
dinner. So yeah, here I am. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. It's just a bit busy this lately, but otherwise I'm
Right.
good.
Nice, nice. Anything special planned for Christmas period? Do you are you around in the UK? Do you travel?
I will be in the UK. I'll go to retreat.
Okay.
I'll go to silent retreat for 10 days. So
Sorry, when you say retreat, where did you say it is?
it is it is meditation center, and it's 10-day course that we're not allowed to use mobile phone or any
Oh,
of the network, and
oh,
no talking also. So yeah.
Wow, that should be something. Sorry, so sorry, you said it's a silence retreat.
Yes, it is. It is.
Nice, nice.
And it's like
We all.
about 10-hour meditation a day.
Wow.
So I should come back with fresh mind.
Yeah. No, you bet. So you're going away. You said it's for 10 days.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
It is in
Nice.
UK.
And
It is in Hertfordshire. So yeah.
okay, not very far. So at least
Yeah, it's not. It's not.
travel-wise, it will not be too dicey. Nice. It's good.
So how long have you been in Ireland at the moment?
I'm here only for one night. I literally came from the airport. I'm in the hotel room, and I fly back tomorrow evening.
Oh, okay. So it is because of
Yeah.
work. Okay.
Kind of. I mean, it's more of a personal project than anything else. So I've
Sure.
come to visit the Indian government's office here.
Oh, okay, okay.
Because of COVID, you don't get appointments anywhere. So I got appointment only here.
Oh, okay. So you have to travel a long way over there.
So yeah, in fact, when was it? I think 3 or 4 weeks ago, when the contest night was happening, that time I was in Cardiff for similar reason.
Okay.
So I dialed back. I dialed in from the bus on my way back.
Oh,
So,
okay.
so yeah.
How's the
Thanks.
weather there? I really love to visit, but yeah.
Yeah, it's my first time as well. It's quite nice actually. I mean, it's not very different from what we are witnessing in London. It's about what 7 degrees here.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very nice. I mean, I think same applies for London as well. If you go to Oxford Circus and all, it's very Christmassy. So the
Yes.
vibe here is like very New York, like Christmas vibe going on.
Yeah.
Very different from the London rush.
Sure.
It's very. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm in the central location. That's why I'm feeling like
Yes.
that. But
Yeah.
but yeah, I would love to go and explore out as well. So
Yeah, that's nice. I'd love to do
Yeah.
hiking around that area and see the Northern Light, but I don't know when my dream gonna come true.
yeah, no, I've heard really good things about Ireland. One of my friend, he used to travel extensively just to play golf.
Oh,
And
okay.
so he was not he was from Australia, so he used to
Mhm.
cover Europe and everything. And he used to come to Ireland specifically very often. He was like, the kind of greenery you get here in Ireland
Yes.
is unparalleled. So I'm sure
Yeah.
you would witness it as well
Isn't
through
it? Yeah.
hikes.
Yeah.
So it should be good.
Yeah.
Cool.
Have you done your dinner?
Sorry.
Have you done your dinner?
No, not yet. So I that's why I thought, okay, I'll stick around till 8 and then I'll go
Yeah.
out for dinner. So that's the plan.
Yeah. So you can have a nice outing also, isn't it, for everyone?
Yeah. I mean, I'll build up some appetite by that time. So that's it.
Yeah.
How are you finding? I mean, I spoke to Flora. When was it? On Saturday? Sunday.
Sure.
Saturday we met. So I met her for the bank work. So we met at the Metro Bank, and she mentioned you're keeping busy right now. So
Yes.
so do give me a call anytime. You wanna vent
Sure.
out or discuss anything.
Sure, we'll
I'll
do
be
that.
happy to.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I think at the moment I tend to understand a bit more now. So I'm getting used to it a bit. So it's getting easier, I would say.
It is. I think, of course, at first it hits you like a storm, but once you've kind of built your own cadence around things,
Yes.
you know how much to do, because there is no limit.
Yeah.
You can literally go to the extent of calling everybody and discussing with them what is happening on the agenda. So that's one extreme, but you can always scale it back to figure out what works on a week-on-week basis. So
that's so good. Sometimes I can contact to each members on like personal contact from the email or text message. or WhatsApp. And yeah,
Right.
sometimes, yeah, the whole week I can be just by myself. So
I
it's
know,
quite
no, no, no.
interesting. Yeah.
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 Hey, Simon.
Hi guys, how are you?
Hey, we're good.
Long time
Hi,
no
Yun.
see.
Yeah, it does feel like that, doesn't it?
It is, I think, because
Simon,
you
is
were
that
away
your-
for 2 times, isn't it? 2 meetings.
Sorry, Momo, I spoke over you. What were you saying?
I think you were away for 2 meetings, so it just feel like so long.
Yeah, and a lot has happened, right, in the last few weeks. Contest and everything going on. So yeah.
Yes.
Hi, Yun. Are you attending as a guest tonight, or are you a Toastmaster member?
No, it's the first time. Yeah,
Okay.
probably
Well,
I'm a guest. It's first time. I don't know how it
Yeah,
works.
yeah,
I don't know.
that's all right. Welcome to Trojans.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Hello, hi, yeah.
Hi. So, Momo, maybe you can give a walkthrough to Yun about how the whole thing would play out. And I see another new name. Probably you can wait for that person to come on as well.
Sure.
Is the agenda floated on the?
It is in a WhatsApp, and I'll send it in a chat also.
Yeah.
Yes.
I see. Yeah. So we got David, Joanna, and Flora. Nice.
Hi guys.
Hey, Samir.
Hi,
Thank
Sumit.
you. Hi Tanuj. Wow.
Hey.
Simon.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
Momo, you still have to share that cycle course details with me.
Sorry, which one?
You mentioned somewhere near Slough or Hillingdon, somewhere you said that there is a very famous cycling circuit.
Oh yeah,
ping
I
you.
did already share. You know, it is in your WhatsApp.
Did
I
you?
did already
Okay.
send it to you.
Sorry, my bad. I think I probably might have overlooked that message then.
Mhm.
I'll check it out. Sorry, I thought that conversation was still open.
I have already sent it to you. Yes.
Oh yeah, you have. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I have not responded to that. That's the reason it's not registered in my brain as well. So sorry about that.
That's all right.
So Hyun, have you been to any of the other Toastmasters in the area or anywhere else?
No, it's the first time.
It's the first time. Okay.
First time in my life.
And there's always a first time, I guess.
Yes, I guess. Yes.
Yeah. We've all been there, Yun. So
Yeah.
How long have been this groups going on so far?
so
I mean, this I think has been from 2003 onwards. This particular chapter,
Let's see.
but Toastmasters I think has been going on for, I don't know how long, maybe 100 years or
I
so.
think
Oh, really?
wasn't there like a 70-year celebration or something recently?
No, it was 100 plus year, isn't it? 100-year
100
celebration.
plus.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, it has a history.
Yeah.
I
So
only
you,
found
I mean,
out months ago. I didn't know about Toastmasters at all. It was on
Yeah.
BBC podcast. I don't know whether you're aware.
No.
Sideways. It's there's one episode talking about Toastmasters. So that's
Okay.
why that led me here.
That's nice.
Mm.
Yeah, so Toastmasters does come up as one of the most prominent organizations for building your speaking skills. Incidentally, Yun, you'd be pleased to know that our particular club were featured for or had relationship with the King's Speech, the film.
Okay, yeah.
There was a feature on BBC about King's Speech, and our club featured in that news article, as well as the feature it on the television. I mean, long before any of us joined. But yeah, it's one of the organizations that keeps resurfacing. So I think just to quickly share with you, Yun, so the meeting would be split into two core parts. The first part would be prepared speeches. So there are certain members who are registered members of the club who would have come prepared for speeches, which would be 5 or more minutes long. And in the second half of that second part of the meeting, we do what we call as table topics. So it's impromptu speaking. So you are welcome to participate in that. So you can actually experience what it feels like to be Toastmaster, and kind of go through that sense of nervousness, exhilaration, whatever you feel. But the idea is to feel that emotion and see how you want to leverage it over and over again.
Basically, in the Toastmasters, like everyone who hasn't really participated, all the paying members who haven't participated in any other role, they are encouraged to participate in the table topics bit, and we give preference to the members who members over the guest. Like who haven't really participated, but then guests are also welcome to give their nominations, and sometimes they can be picked without the nominations as well.
Hi, Lude. Hey, Nishtha.
Hi, Nish. Hi.
Hello, everyone.
Hey.
Hello.
I see Sheila DT Spiff, you are online. Please feel free to unmute yourself and activate your camera. Of course, if you don't want to, we can't enforce it. Oh, hey, hi there.
Hi, B.
Hi.
Is that Sheila?
Yes.
Hi, Sheila. Welcome to Trojans.
Yeah.
I think we're waiting for a few key members to join in. We generally start sharp at 7:30. So feel free to ask any questions, say hello to new faces. Nish, while we're waiting, do you want to maybe, I don't know if it's a bit premature, do you want to talk about what would be the meeting like today?
I can. It's not going to be very different from our regular meetings, but I see a lot of guests today, and for their benefit, I will explain about the meeting a little bit. Would you like me to tell you now, or would you rather I be waiting for the meeting to start? Although I can give you a brief introduction.
I think there are a couple of guests that we are expecting. So it might be better for you that you do it once everyone has joined.
Okay.
Can I just ask a quick question before you start?
Yes.
Yeah. Is it going to be permanently on Zoom, or is there any future date where this face-to-face will be arranged?
Eventually, we will go back to face-to-face. But it's a question that we can answer maybe in a few weeks. We have polled all our members, and based on what the majority of them say, we will make a decision very soon. I hope that answered your question, Abby.
Yes, thank you.
It would be lovely to actually meet everyone face to face, and we tend to have really good meetings when we can see everyone. We can shake hands or hug up pre-COVID times, and yeah, have a drink, coffee or tea with everybody. It's much better, definitely.
Hi, Bridget.
Hello. Sorry, I was a bit later than the 7:15, but
No, no, it's absolutely fine. It's absolutely fine.
Bridget, can I check? Are you the person who Rupa used to interact with at Rotaries?
who used to interact with?
Rupa Datta.
Yes,
Okay.
one of the people. Yes.
Okay, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
I've been meaning to reach out to Rotary, but of course things have been happening, and
Yeah.
now there is a new management in place. So good to have Rotary come to our meetings. So
Well, we have new management in Rotary every year. We change our president every year
right,
at all levels of the organization, including the club. So
yeah,
yeah.
it's the same here. So I'm the past president, and you would see Flora Ruffin, whose name is showing up as Trojan Speakers. She's the present president, and there are her wing personnel are here in Nishtha, Sumit, Momo. So they are all supporting as vice presidents, and Joanna as well. So I see her as well here. Hey, David.
Hi, David.
Hello. Who's the Zoom master tonight?
Ishta.
Nishta. No, Nishta's the Toastmaster.
Yeah.
Who's running the Zoom call?
Flora, she's running late at the moment.
Okay, so Flora, before my speech, can I please be made a co-host? I have a couple of slides that I'd like to share.
Sure.
Thank you.
So where is everybody based at the moment? I'm in Hounslow, in Brentford. So
Ealing.
West Drayton. We are neighbors, Bridget.
Hounslow.
So
Hounslow, right.
I'm normally based in Hounslow, but today I'm dialed in from Ireland.
Oh, great.
I'm normally based in Hayes, but today I'm dialing in from Torquay.
Oh, Torquay. Yeah. How's the weather in Torquay?
It was sunny. It's been sunny all week. Today was a bit cloudy but dry, but it's cold.
Well, you're lucky because Torquay normally rains a lot. So.
No rain.
Except when it's sunny.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Hi, I was just running a bit late today.
Hi.
Hi. So in terms of agenda, the house master is also running a bit late, but I think Luca would be joining us 7:35. So I think we can start without him probably.
Good evening.
Hello.
Do we have everyone else?
I think we are still waiting for timekeeper.
Also, Pragati, like who's that? Grammarian, is it?
Yes, she is.
Also, do we? There is a table topic master, Melanie. Okay, now.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
It's very quiet.
It is.
Are we in church? Has somebody died? Please.
Probably sort of practicing the Boris Johnson style of public speaking, I think.
Oh bugger. Anyone been to Peppa Pig World?
I've only eaten a few.
Hello.
I have a friend who's written a book about public speaking, and I told him he should send a copy to number 10.
All right, are we ready to start the meeting then?
I think we're still waiting for the timekeeper, isn't it?
Timekeeper is already with us.
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, perfect. Thanks. So yeah, we are ready. And is Melanie with us?
No.
Not yet.
Okay, sorry, because I'm texting at the same time. So yeah, that's when we can start.
Hello and good evening to Toastmasters. Tonight, I'm going to be your Sergeant at Arms, which means I'm going to speak for a few seconds before the start of the meeting, just to give you some housekeeping rules. And the three most important house rules are, first of all, the meeting is being recorded on Zoom. So if you do not like to have your image recorded, contact the Zoom master or disable your camera. But if you will be doing table topics in the second half of the meeting, without being able to see you, we will not be able to judge you properly. Secondly, whilst not speaking, please ensure that your microphone is switched off. This prevents any feedback affecting the quality of sound you may hear from the person who's supposed to be speaking themselves. And finally, there will be a commercial break around about 8:30 to 8:40, time to be determined by the Toastmaster of the evening. And during that time, please avail yourself of refreshments, tea, coffee, toilet break, etc. And now to start the meeting properly, let me hand you over to the President, Flora Ruffin.
Thank you, Simon, and good evening, everyone. It's nice to see so many of you today and to see so many guests actually in our meeting. So I'm really pleased to see actually that we are, well, actually today we are the 24th of November. That date is actually a bit special for me because in France it's the Saint Flora. So it's my actually day where normally I celebrate my name, but at the same time, it is 1 month before Christmas Eve, and that's mean before holiday for me as well. And you know, since we've taken over the new committee, it's almost feel like it's been running very, very quickly, but we are actually almost at the middle of the Toastmaster year. So things are really pacing, and I was reading something about change on my way here, and I just wanted to share that with you because what he was saying is actually if you want to change something in your life, and we are all here because we want to change something about our life, the constant truth is actually that you need to change before everything else change. And at the moment, everything is changing around us. And if you want to actually, you know, do something about it, you need to change faster. And for me, you know, coming here, attending the meeting, taking that first step for the guests to come and join us is actually making a change and actually making a better today or better yesterday, and the future looks brighter. So if you have any other idea to make that first step, you can also, you know, reflect about what have you learned, what do you want to do when you think about your past, you know, what have you learned from your experience, but also in Toastmaster, what new role have you taken recently? What are you going to participate today? And by doing those small steps, you're actually changing, and that makes your future brighter. So I'm pleased now to kick off the meeting, and I will hand over to our Toastmaster for this evening, Nishta.
Thank you, Flora, and hello and good evening, my friends, and welcome guests. We are meeting on Zoom, as you can see. Usually before COVID, we used to meet in a church. We are going to make a decision very soon whether we are going to go back to the church or not, as one of the guests was asking before the meeting started. This was not my opening, but then I decided to just carry on, and that might explain the theme that I have chosen for the meeting today. Today, we have a packed agenda, and for the benefit of our guests, I'll explain a little bit about the meeting. So in a Toastmasters meeting at Trojans, we have a meeting for about 2 hours. In the first half of the meeting, we have prepared speeches, and today we have 3 speakers. And in the second half, we will have impromptu speeches, and they are called table topics. Now, this is my favorite part of the evening. Table topics is when you're given a topic and you have to think on your feet and you speak for at least a minute on that topic. And it gives you good practice on public speaking. We'll also have evaluations and a few other roles. But before I move forward, I'd like to introduce you to my team, because I cannot run this meeting without my team. So the first person I'd like to call forward is my timekeeper.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster of the evening. As a timekeeper, I will time the table topics, speakers, formal speeches, and the evolution. I will also alert speakers of the time they have left using the green light, yellow light, and red light. Table topic speakers should limit their remark on more than 2 minutes. At 1 minute, I will raise green light. 1 minute 30 seconds, I will raise yellow light, and 2 minutes, I will raise red light. For advanced speaker, I have one advanced speaker today, David Horn. The minimum time is 15 minutes and maximum 20 minutes. So at 15 minutes, I will raise green light. 17 minutes 30 seconds, I will raise yellow light, and 20 minutes, I will raise red light. For ice break speaker should be 4 to 6 minutes in length. 4 minutes, I will raise green light. 5 minutes, I will raise yellow light, and 6 minutes, I will raise red light. Most of the speeches should be 5 to 7 minutes. For 5 minutes, I will raise green light, and 6 minutes, I will raise yellow light, and 7 minutes, I will raise red light. The evolution should be 2 to 3 minutes. For 2 minutes, green light, 2 minutes 30 seconds, yellow light, and 3 minutes, red light. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Molly. Now, the second person helping me tonight is Pragati Koirala. Pragati is going to be our grammarian. Pragati, please welcome Pragati to the stage. Pragati, please explain your role. Pragati, you're on mute.
So sorry, I didn't realize that at all. Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests, good evening. As the grammarian for the evening, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to the language usage of all users, all speakers. I will take note of any improper languages as well as any outstanding words, quotes, sayings, or thoughts. It is also my responsibility to introduce the word of the day. For today's meeting, the word of the day is hubris, which is a noun. Hubris means exaggerated pride or self-confidence. Some example sentences are, his downfall was caused by his own hubris. It takes great humility to overcome hubris. Each speaker is encouraged to use the word of the day. And as grammarian, I will report when called upon during the meeting, and I will also report on the usage of the word of the day. Thank you.
Thank you, Pragati. Word of the day, hubris. Let's pretend I didn't have that bumpy start, because I'm going to blame the person who mentioned Boris Johnson. And the moment I heard the name, I started bumbling myself. So the theme of the meeting today is very relevant to a lot of people present in the meeting today. Before I tell you what the theme is, I want to tell you that I have tested positive for a disease. No, it's not COVID. It's not life-threatening. That disease is overthinking. I'm not making it up. Trust me, my doctor, Ms. Nishtha Chugh, told me that I have been diagnosed and I have tested positive for overthinking. And it turns out I am not the only one. It's quite common. In fact, I think at least 3/4 of the people I can see on my screen are probably suffering from this disease. So I thought, what can I do? So I decided to seek your help. I've decided to ask all of you today about overthinking. Those of you who do overthink, what do you do about it? What is it, first of all, you overthink about, and why? My problem is so serious that if overthinking burnt calories, I would be dead by now. If it was an Olympic sport, I would have won gold, silver, bronze, all of them. So help me here today, and I will be asking each speaker tonight what they overthink about and why. So let's start our meeting with our first speaker, David Horn. David's speech is titled Attitudes to Money. But before we invite David to the stage, I would like to invite David's evaluator, Sumit Singh, to give us the objectives of David's speech. Sumit.
Hi, everyone. So David is doing his level 4 speech today, and this speech is between 15 and 20 minutes long. The speech would be followed by a Q&A. And the purpose of this project is for the members to learn about the practice and facilitating a question and answer session. And also the purpose of the speech is for David to practice delivering an informative speech and running a well-organized Q&A session. David is responsible for managing time, so there is an adequate opportunity for both. With the speech entitled Attitudes to Money, I give you David Horn.
So sorry, Nishtha, just before I've tried to give host right to David, but I've lost the right as I was trying to give it to Pragati.
You made Pragati the host of the meeting, so she needs to make you back the host, and then if you just make me co-host.
Yes, I was asking for that, but I think I did. Yeah, that's what I could reclaim it back.
So Flora, where you see the names, so Flora, where you're seeing the names, you can see claim host.
But Pragati is currently the host. So she needs to give back the hosting to Flora.
No, David, Flora can take it back because she's the primary account holder.
So where should I click?
So on the top right, Flora, where you see all the names, I suppose, you at the bottom you would be able to see something called as claim host. If you scroll all the way to the bottom of the
yeah, okay. Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. I learned something tonight. Thank you so much. All right.
Okay, I'm the host now, so I'll give it back to you when I'm done.
Thanks.
Please raise your hand if you believe that you think about money too much. Or in the words of our Toastmaster, you overthink it. Just about everyone. I know that I certainly do, but it's interesting because many people have told me that I have a very balanced and calm attitude to money. Madam Toastmaster, fellow Trojans, and most welcome guests, tonight I'm going to speak to you about attitudes to money, and then I'm going to run a question and answer session where we can have a dialogue and address your thoughts and your questions about money. I'll be covering 3 themes in my speech first. Number 1, what is money? Number 2, the scarcity mentality. And number 3, the abundance mentality. So what is money? Earlier this year, I was attending an online conference put on by a financial advisor, and he put up the following slide. Money equals question mark. Please could you put in the chat your answer to question mark? Money equals question mark. I'm curious. Come on. There we go. Three, freedom, choice, comfort, time. So that's 6. By my last count, there were about 25 people in the meeting. A physical means of exchange, basic needs. Come on. Don't be shy, everyone. Freedom, value, freedom, happiness, sort of. This was an online meeting, as I told you. There were over 100 participants in it, and the chat went nuts. What was really interesting was that at the end, he then went to this slide. Money equals money. That's all it is. And everything else is what we, in our heads, think, or perhaps even overthink about money. I'm just going to stop sharing screen. I hope you saw, oh dear, screen sharing failed to start. I'm sorry about that, folks. I don't know if you saw that or not.
No, we didn't.
Apologies. I had these 2 great slides, but there we are, technology. Money equals money. Now, I studied economics at university, and in economic theory, they define money as being anything that meets 3 criteria. As Simon put up in the chat, it's a means of exchange. So I give you money and you give me something in return. That's the first one. It is a unit of measure. So if I give you £5, you know that it's £5, not £4.89, not £6.23, but £5. And it is a store of nominal value. And nominal has been added more recently to definitions because inflation can have a significant impact on the value of money. So money is a medium of exchange, a unit of measure, and a store of value. And interestingly, when you look at history, money was first created in some form that met those 3 criteria about 7,000 years ago. And the earliest forms of money were papyrus scrolls in ancient Egypt and seashells in the Eastern Mediterranean and on the Black and Caspian Seas, where traders would exchange these units of measure, mediums of exchange, and stores of value for goods and services. Let's come forward in time, and money was represented by pieces of metal, often silver or gold, that happened to have a stamp of the king's or queen's head on them. Come forward even further in time to my native Canada, where between 1685 and 1714, in the part of Canada that is today Quebec, they actually used playing cards as money because the British Army, the British Navy had sunk the French naval ships that was bringing normal money across from France to the Canadian part of Quebec. And so they created playing cards, which they tore in a certain way, and they became widely accepted throughout Quebec as money. Let's come forward to today. Cash, in terms of folding banknotes, which since COVID-19 have been less and less in use. Plastic money, which since COVID-19 has taken off because it's touchless and we can transact things using a plastic card on a machine that reads wirelessly a signal and sends it back to our bank and makes the charge. And moving forward, we have things like cryptocurrency that isn't a currency at all. It doesn't exist in the physical world. All it is ones and zeros in the blockchain. But it's accepted as a medium of exchange, a unit of measure, and a store of value. It is, therefore, money. Now let's move on to those two different mentalities or mindsets: scarcity and abundance. These mentalities were first defined by the author Stephen Covey in his outstanding book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And in that book, Covey talked about the scarcity mindset being people who viewed money, available resources, things that they could have access to, like being a pie. And it was a pie of fixed size. So if someone comes along and takes a big slice of that pie, well, that means there's less for me. That means there's less for others. That means maybe someone's being a bit greedy, so maybe I should be a bit greedy too. And that scarcity mindset develops into beliefs where people don't want to share. People don't want to share credit. People don't want to share profit. People don't want to share opportunity. People don't want to share resources. They view life as a zero-sum game. So if I take more, that means there's less for you. If you take more, that means there's less for me. And pardon me. And that is a scarcity mindset. On the other hand, we have the abundance mindset, which says that sure, there's a pie, and maybe right now the pie is like this, but there's no reason that the pie can't become like this or even bigger. An abundance mindset is that there is more than enough to go around. There is more than enough. And if somebody takes a big slice of the pie, well, that's okay. We just make the pie bigger. There's still opportunity. There's still opportunity to access resources. There's still opportunity to access money. There's still opportunity to access profits. And people with an abundance mindset tend to be much more positive and willing to share, whereas people with a scarcity mindset tend to be more negative and are less willing to share with others. Now, I work in the financial world, and I've seen things. I've been a director of listed companies. Those of you who know my background know in my career, I have raised over £100 million in funding for companies that I've worked with. And I know how financial markets work. And I can assure you that there is more money out there than you can possibly imagine. Looking over the last 18 months, 20 months of the pandemic, I know that through government programs like the furlough scheme, like the CBILS loan scheme, and similar programs in the United States, across Europe, in Australia, New Zealand, less so in the developing world, but certainly in the Western world. Governments, in order to support locked down economies, created $10 trillion of new money. $10 trillion. That's a million, or in fact, that's 10 million million. That is a huge number. It represents 1/8 of the global gross domestic product. So if there was ever an example that the pie could become bigger, and that by making the pie bigger, everyone still had access to a slice, everyone still had access to that possibility. It was there, and that aspect of abundance is available. Now, that's not to say that it's easy. It isn't easy. It's hard. And I know from experiences in my own life where I've lived in times of abundance and I have lived in times of scarcity. I can certainly tell you which one I prefer, but I have experienced both of those. I know someone here in the UK who is worth 400 million pounds. 400 million. And every day he wakes up terrified that he's going to lose it all. He has more money than most people could ever imagine. And yet he has the biggest scarcity mindset. I have a very good friend in my native Canada, and he's actually an IT developer. He could make a ton of money, but he actually chose a lifestyle where he made enough money that he could go and travel and be in the outdoors and have time with his family, because that was more important to him. So abundance and scarcity don't really matter in the context of how much money you have, but rather your attitude to money. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to challenge you to think about whether you have a scarcity mindset or an abundance mindset. And I would welcome questions from the floor, which we can discuss. Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, David. Now I open the discussion to the House. Anyone who would like to ask David a question, please raise your hand or just unmute yourself. Or maybe I can start with the question, David.
Please do.
My question is about, I'll give you the percentage. So for 54 to 42% of the people in the world are actually poor. And they are making less than $3.20 a day. And in numbers, it's 1.8 billion people.
Yep.
What will you tell them? How will you tell them not to have scarcity mindset?
Well, I wouldn't tell them. I would welcome them to think a little differently. And one of the challenges that we face is, living here in the UK, we can't imagine surviving on $3 a day. But living in some communities around the world, it gives them enough that they can feed and provide water and have shelter. So whilst the numbers seem very low, it's not necessarily the case that they are lacking. They may be very happy in their world because they're living in a society or a culture where they don't have this fixation on money, and where if they have what they need to have a happy life, then they're satisfied. So again, take my friend in Canada. He could easily pull down 100,000 a year or more. He's an IT developer, but he has chosen to make a lot less because he values more his time to go out and do the things that are important to him. So on an average earnings level, he's at about average earnings in Canada. He could be at 2 or 3 times that level, but he's chosen not to be. He doesn't have the level of money that many other people have, but he's very happy about it. And he actually views the world as being entirely abundant because he can work 3 days a week and go out and enjoy the rest of his time out in nature, kayaking, hiking, cross-country skiing with his young son. So it's really all about putting yourself into the other person's shoes in the community where they live, as opposed to saying, gosh, $3 a day, how can they possibly live? Now, I don't deny that for many people, that's a very, very hard thing to achieve. And I can't imagine living on $3 a day. But there are people who do it and do it well and do it successfully in communities around the world, whether that's in the Amazon rainforest or in Papua New Guinea or in sub-Saharan Africa. And they survive and they thrive because money is just money. Money isn't freedom. Money isn't choice. To a degree, money is choice because it enables you to decide what you want to spend on. But at a very basic level, money is just money. It allows you to buy things. It allows you to exchange things. Money itself doesn't bring you happiness. The guy that I know who's worth 400 grand isn't happy. He's terrified. So he has more money than most people could ever imagine. Indeed, more money than many, many people collectively have. And yet he views it with fear. Next question, please. If you don't want to ask it out loud, please put it in the chat.
I will ask.
Can I go next?
Go ahead.
So David, this topic that you chose is very near and dear to my heart, and you gave an excellent presentation on it. The question I have for you is, what would be your tips to somebody who has got the abundance mindset, but doesn't know where to start? The reason I'm asking this question is because, as you know, the goalpost or the minimum amount needed for anybody to have a sustainable life, that goalpost is moving further and further away. The rich keep getting richer, and despite all the crypto revolution and whatnot, there are a lot of level setting initiatives that are happening, but the world still becomes even more, the kind of entropy keeps increasing. So what would be your top 3 tips for somebody who's got the abundance mindset, but doesn't know what tangible actions they can take to stay ahead of the curve all the time? So, what 3 tips would you have to stay ahead of the curve with that abundance mindset being the, prerequisite in place?
That's a great question. Thank you. I'm going to reply with 2 tips, not 3, and I'll explain why. So again, for those who've known me longer, over the last 9 years, I have developed a significant spiritual belief. And one of the things that I very firmly believe is that the universe is a benign thing, and that we are all part of a greater kind of cosmic energy. And we just happen to inhabit human bodies at the moment. But that we all have the ability to achieve what we want to achieve if we are willing to put in the work to do it. And so my 2 tips are, number 1, have a vision of where you want to go. Have a vision of what it is that you want to achieve, whether that's a great big grand long-term vision, or this is what I want to hit in the next year, or this is what I want to do in the next week. But have that vision and be clear about it, to the point, as Madam Toastmaster suggested, of even overthinking it. Think about it a lot. And then when you think about it and you have that clarity in your mind, take a step forward and take another step forward. And I'll step back now so you can see me, but take steps forward towards what you see as your vision. And you will find that the universe puts opportunities in front of you. You will find that all of a sudden someone will reach out and talk to you on the phone, or send you an email, or you'll bump into them over coffee, or you'll meet someone and they'll say, "Oh, Tanuj, I know you're interested in XYZ. I know exactly the person you should talk to," because you've put it out there that this is where I want to go, and you've taken that step forward. And you must do both of those things. If you sit at home and visualize a grand future and hope it's all going to happen, it doesn't. You have to take action. And it doesn't matter what action you take. The very act of taking action sets in motion things that are beyond any of our mental capabilities. So those are my 2 tips. I don't have a third.
David, we have a question from Joanna. Joanna, please ask your question.
Yeah, so David,
Yeah.
I had a question, like, for example, I was reading the other day and I was thinking, so the abundance and the money attitude really comes out. But then my question was, you've seen a lot of people, all of us mostly are in that rut of going for work, and we feel that, you know, getting employed and getting promoted, that is the highest mode of working. But yet we see all the billionaires and trillionaires who are the richest 1% of the richest people, or have the lot of money that we have, are the ones who don't really work. They, like, you know, they could be school dropouts, they could be someone. So what is your opinion about it, and what do you have to suggest on this? Is money the real thing? Is it the abundance that we talk about? You were just giving an example on universe, kind of the spiritual vision that we need to have. So what are your thoughts on that?
That's another great question. Thank you, Joanna. So money is a tool. And if we think about life at the highest form, the purest form, when we are born, we come into this world naked. Some happen to be born into wealth, some happen to be born into poverty, but we come into this world naked. And when we die, we depart this world naked. We don't take anything with us. We don't bring anything with us. We simply come into existence and we create the life that we have. So money is just a tool. It's a medium of exchange, a unit of measure, and a store of value. It is nothing else. Many, many people attach a lot of emotion, often a lot of emotional baggage to money. But if they can just stop and think, that's all money is. Money doesn't mean, hey, I'm successful and you're not. Money doesn't mean, hey, you know, this is great about me and not about you, or hey, this is not good about me, but it's great about somebody else. If you look at it from the angle of people who are just going to work and doing their jobs, I mean, that's the vast majority of the population. And if you've got a good job, you can have, you know, a successful and good lifestyle where you have enough money to go around. And this will be the last answer because the light's just gone red. But I would say to the people who are the billionaires, I mean, well done them. They've figured something out. If you actually look at it, it's not that they're just sitting on their behinds doing nothing. In many cases, they have created tremendous new things that have changed humanity. Look at Elon Musk with SpaceX and Tesla. Look at Jeff Bezos with Amazon. Look at Warren Buffett with all of the investments he's done. Look at Bill Gates, who now has moved the vast majority of his money to the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and they have nearly eradicated malaria, and they are doing huge steps to eliminate other diseases, and they are doing tremendous things that governments around the world have failed to do. So I applaud those billionaires who are doing good things for the world. And with that, I'm afraid we've run out of time. Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, David, for this informational and educational speech. I really enjoyed it. But before you go, I'm going to ask you this question. Apart from money, what is it you overthink and why?
I couldn't say that there was a single thing that I overthink. It's very much dependent on what's going on at the time. And there will be things that are happening and I'm fine. And then all of a sudden something will come up. Often when somebody challenges me about something that goes against my values, and I really can get worked up about that. I remember 4 or 5 years ago, I was a director of a company, a small business, and we had to let an employee go. He was a black man, and he came after us for racial discrimination. And that really hurt me to the very core of my values, because I find racism despicable. And my head was going nuts for about a week because someone had attacked me about something that really, really went against my core values. And I overthought that one for a whole week to the point where I couldn't sleep at night.
Thank you, David. Before we move on to our second speaker, I'd like to tell you that we have amongst us our harp master. Now, just for fun, I'm going to keep him secret, keep him or her or they. I'm not going to tell you who they are. And we will test your listening skills and your memory at the end of the meeting. So listen up and pay attention. Now it's time for me to invite our second speaker for this evening, Joanna Kolako. And I apologize, Joanna, if I have mispronounced your name. Joanna's speech, Joanna is giving her icebreaker today. Now that's my second most favorite part of segment of any meeting, icebreaker speeches. This is when we get to know our new members. To give Joanna's objectives, I'd like to invite Joanna's evaluator, Lucy. Please welcome Lucy to the stage.
Thanks, Madam Toastmaster. Hi, everyone. So tonight, Joanna is going to do our introduction. And the title of her speech is Why Am? And it's part of a pathway presentation mastery. So please welcome Joanna for our icebreaker. Joanna.
Thank you very much. So I feel the best way to break ice is to pour whiskey over it. How many of you agree, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, that's the most exciting thing to break the ice. But I am going to ensure you that today I'm going to break the ice in even more exciting way while I'm swimming you through my life. Who am I? I'm unique, I'm special, and I'm me. There is nothing to prove and nothing to protect. I am who I am, and it's enough, by Richard Rohr. Good evening, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmaster, and our dear guest. First thing first, so most of you know me. My name is Joanna Kolako, and to those who don't know, that's my name. And my name was inspired by the Saint of Arc. Ideally, that was inspired by the Saint Joan of Arc, and that was my godfather who wanted to name me as Joan of Arc. The only reason is he thought that I was the victorious, vibrant, and bold leader that I should grow to. So that's the reason he thought he should name me as Joan of Arc, or Joan, Joan. But ideally, I became Joanna for the simple reason the person sitting at the government office spelled it wrong and added A to N. So it became Joanna, but I'm fair enough. I still like my name. And I come from a very beautiful place, a sea area, a seashore place, which is, I'm sure most of you heard and been there from Goa. Even beautiful is the village that I come from. It's Aldona, the most nostalgic village that I come from, where everybody knows everyone. We have breakfast in one house and have dinner at the other house. So that kind of environment is where I was born and brought up, in a beautiful place where the river is just flowing behind. If you go further, you find the beaches around. So this kind of environment I grew about. I was very loving and very naughty child kind of thing. I am born after 5 siblings. That I have 3 brothers and another 2 sisters. And oftentimes my elder sister, the sister before me, says, you know what, you are a mistake and you've taken all my love and everything, because the only reason is I was born 8 years after that, after her, and I became the parent of everyone. To me, it looks like my parents were good at what they did, so I was born. So that's a little bit about me. And then I grew up. I mean, it was a lovely place. I was loved. Everybody loved me, and we grew up. But then in between that, I was around 8 or 9 years old. There was a big black cloud with rays in our family that came. We got to know that I had my dad to live only 6 more months, and that he's going to die of cancer, and he did eventually. So that is something that it was, very painful when he did. Probably I was very small. That was not for me so much, but I seen my mom, and I think that the most tough thing that she did. But even then, she is the one who inspired me today to the woman that I am, the strong. I never seen her cry. I've never seen her go down. She's been the courageous. So if I carry the courage, if I have fear, I fill it with courage. All this is something that I learned from my mother. So that is something inspired me, even with the dark cloud. It overcome me, being my mom and my dad together. So that's how I grew, and I've been the child of that area. Then I went on. I did my studies. I did my master's in business analysis. Then I went again and did my executive in business analytics. Today I'm a business analyst, where I help people to streamline their businesses, where to make money or to automate their processes, to do giving speeches or asking them how to improve the process, make the money. So I am mostly in the finance and the insurance and this background. So this is what I do. So a lot of times, I have to face a lot of crowd. I have to speak, I have to give presentation. So that is something, since this is an anticipated for my career, that I have to be in an area where I have to continuously speak. And I felt that Toastmaster is the best place to be with. So that's the reason I joined Toastmasters. So apart from when I was, during the meeting that I heard when Flora initially said, it's the change that you have to bring. So I feel, what I am looking forward is the change that you have to make for your own self, for your self-development, because that's like Warren said, the only investment that you can do, the best investment is yourself. So I have set out a plan for my professional investment, for my soul, or spiritual life. When David was talking about spiritual investment, so very true. You need to be spiritually set and a mindset where you avoid this overthinking. So I guess that is what that is what I look forward in the coming years, and to develop myself so I become a better person to give service while I make the money out there with the money attitude. At the same time, I think having an attitude of positive thinking is very important to me as well. So this is a little bit about myself. If you have any questions more, I have a lot of things to talk about me, but looks like there's a red light going on. Anything, you can always shoot out your questions, put it in the chat, or just message me. And that's a little bit about myself. And thank you very much. Over to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Joanna. Thank you. Before you go, I'd like to ask you the same question. What is it you overthink about and why?
Overthink. I think I'm very close to getting overthink. I overthink for no reason. I realize it later, because sometimes overthinking happens. Like I'm trying to control the future. I'm expecting something. It doesn't happen, and I kind of know that this is my plan. It might not happen that way. So I keep overthinking what will happen, realizing a little that I might not even be able to change, and taking the action that's required. So I think there sometimes I get anxious on that. And I can tell you a recent example, like, last time I wanted to go on holidays, and I was so, thinking, what about the flights will happen? Or that's not even in my control. There's no point in overthinking about it. So if it's not going to happen, not happen, what's the second plan? So I think that's the logical thinking I should have done instead of overthinking, because that's not even something that we can do. And at the same time, like David said, we are born, we come alone, and we have to go alone. So every day is a day closer to your grave. So if I live with the fact that today could be my last day, I think I would stop overthinking. So that's the mantra.
Thank you, Joanna.
Thank you.
Looks like I was overthinking my role as the Toastmaster, and I forgot to ask all of you to give your feedback to David. So could I please ask the timekeeper to give us 1 minute, 30 seconds so that everybody can give their feedback to David and Joanna.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. David is 21 minutes 03 seconds for his 20
Molly,
minutes.
could you give us 1 minute, 30 seconds on the clock? And please let me know when that time is up, because we need to give feedback to David and Joanna. I will be calling you forward for individual times later on.
Time start now.
Nishta, is it giving marks or what is it? Is it just, sorry, it's my first time, so I don't understand about the feedback.
Abby, you can send the speakers your feedback, as in what are the things you liked about their speeches, what are the things you think they could improve upon. So you could, if you could send them a private message, and the members can send their feedback via Pathways. But then if you don't have access to it as a guest, you can always send them a text message on the chat privately. Thank you. Thank you, Molly. I think 1 minute, 30 seconds are up. With that, I'd like to now move on to the third speaker of this evening, Flora Ruffin. Flora's speech is titled, "Can you show the path? Can you show the path?" To give her speech's objective, I'd like to call upon Simon Wadgama. Simon, please give us the objectives of Flora's speech.
Tonight, Flora will be speaking using the dynamic leadership pathway, which is understanding your leadership style. She must share some aspect of a chosen leadership style or leadership styles in general. She will discuss style preferences when working with others, how to adapt the chosen leadership style to the given situations, or leadership styles in general, and how they impact a group. Time given, 5 to 7 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you, Simon. With that, I'd like to call upon Flora to the digital stage. Please welcome Flora.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster, and good evening, fellow Trojans, and most welcome guests. I'm really delighted tonight to be talking a bit about leadership and my leadership style. To start, I want to share an example that illustrates what leadership is about. I went on a walk across the Chiltern Hills, and it was a beautiful day with the light illuminating the bright color that the autumn brings, like the bright red, the bright yellow, the bright orange. And we were going across a lot of woodland following a walk leader. And Tom is an experienced walker, but he is blind. So he's leaning on Caroline's back, and Caroline has volunteered to show him the path, literally leading him through the journey, through that 13-mile hike. And she was describing all of the obstacles because Tom couldn't see anything. So she was telling him about the mud, the narrow paths, the overground routes, the kissing gate when we were crossing across fields. And I was very impressed because she was much shorter than tall, and she felt really confident in that role as a leader. So, ladies and gentlemen, think about it. Would you have, if you had that opportunity, volunteered to take that leader role. Because for me, this is what leadership is about. And when we talk about leadership, I guess the first question is, why do we need leader? And for me, a leader is someone that gives direction, show the path, but also is there to help us aim higher, given a sense of confidence that we'll achieve something, that there is a vision, a end goal. And I believe that everyone can be a leader, but a leader has to be willing to take that challenge, has been ready to make decisions when there is a lot of uncertainty, when there is not a lot of information available, as to be ready to take the challenge to lead through changes. And that's something that I've experienced at the end of last year. I was leading a new team through change, and that was extremely difficult. Because of COVID in my role, we had to change a lot of processes. We had to give a lot of information on financial performance, on forecasting. And my team just didn't understand that they had to adapt, that we had to change our processes. So they resisted the change. And at that time, I really struggled to bring them on the journey of how we had to change the way we were doing things, that the current old-fashioned way of doing things was not working anymore in the current environment. It was a big struggle. And at the time, I didn't realize that they were completely blind to this journey. They just couldn't see why they had to change. So I've reflected on my leadership style. And I actually believe that there's no one leadership style. Every leader has a certain way of leading, and you also adapt the way you lead depending on the circumstances. But what I really believe is that what you need to make sure is to understand what motivates you, what are your core values. And for me, I can summarize my leadership style in 3 words. So I'm asking you, can you think about your leadership style? Can you find 3 words that would define your leadership style? For me, it's about big picture thinking, it's about quality first, and it's about collaboration. So big picture thinking, that's something I like to do. Naturally, I like to have that global overview. I like to understand where I am, where I want to go, where I want my team to go, and to be able to break it into small milestones. I can put forward myself and visualize myself, in terms of the future. Quality is extremely important for me, and I have high standards, and I'll expect the same from those around me. So I will set up clear expectation, and I will encourage everyone around me to aim higher. Collaboration is the 3rd point. I like to listen, and I have a lot of value in terms of hearing feedback and understand everyone's perspective. I think that's how you reach better decision, and also how you understand blocker or perspective from others that can help you to move faster. But overall, you work on your leadership style by experiences it. And I believe that leadership can't be taught, and you're not born as a leader, but you grew into it when you experience that, and often when you learn from your experience. So I've reflected on what happened last year, and I think I could have changed a few things. First of all, I didn't really acknowledge that my team was completely blind, because I thought that was very obvious that there was a pandemic around us and we had to adapt, but they couldn't see that. So I could have actually been much clearer, like Caroline was with Tom, and really describing them, all of the obstacles, all of the challenges, and having clear instruction. What I could have done as well better is probably giving more enthusiasm about the change. And that's something I want to continue to develop, And that's how Toastmaster helped me as well about storytelling. So how do you tell your vision? How do you explain better what this means when things can be very intangible for others? So overall, I've learned a lot. And in conclusion, I want to give you a few takeaways from that speech. First of all, we need leaders, and everyone can be a leader. So you can take that opportunity when it comes, and it can just be to be leading a blind person across hills. Think about how you would have described that journey to someone that actually can't see anything, and how you would have been showing the path, because that's what leaders do. They show the path, but they are there to help overcome challenge. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Flora. Apart from leadership styles, what do you overthink about and why?
So I'm not a person that overthink in general, but at the moment what I overthink a lot is the fact that I have no time. So the fact that the time is disappearing and I feel I've never completed what I need to complete. So I am at bed and I'm running through my to-do list, thinking what I have not put in my to-do list. And yeah, and then making sure I'm not missing anything. And in terms of how do I get to sleep when I'm that's thinking about it, I remember what my mom kept telling me: your worry or your concern or whatever bother you will still be there tomorrow. So put it on the bed, on the bedside table, and you will pick them up tomorrow morning.
Thank you, Flora. Madam Timekeeper, could you please give us a minute on the clock so that everybody can give their feedback to Flora?
Time start now.
Thank you, Madam Timekeeper. In the next segment, we will hear the evaluations of our speakers today. But before we do that, let's pick the best speaker of this evening. Could we please launch the vote, please? Do we have a poll?
I have a poll, but I'm trying to see how I launch it.
Down at the bottom of your screen, there should be a button that says polls.
No, it's not. I think we'll have to do it the whole way. Tanish set up the poll, but I can't see how to launch it.
In that case, could everybody please vote for their favorite speaker and send the name to Flora? Please note here Flora's name on the screen is Trojan Speakers. Oh, I apologize. Yes, Flora is one of the speakers, so I totally forgot about that. Could you please send it to Momo, please. If everybody's done, I think we can now move on to our evaluations. I'd like to invite our first evaluator, Sumit Singh, who is evaluating David on tonight. Please welcome Sumit Singh.
Madam Toastmaster, David, and most welcome guests. It was a fantastic speech that David had presented to us today. And it was all about the attitudes of money, and it was followed on by the question answers that we have all seen. What I loved about this speech was the expansive hand gestures that David was making effortlessly, and it was all weaved into the ideas of the speech. I loved the posture that David had taken in many of the times when he was walking away and front of the camera, which created a bit of a buzz for us. I loved the opening when he presented a question to everyone and engaged the audience at the outset. And he presented what are the three things that he would be talking about. So clearly signposting all the things that he's going to do and then do it. That is a hallmark of a accomplished speaker that David is, and he has shown it again today. Couple of things that I would say to David, if he has to push the speech one notch up, I would encourage David to change his camera angle so that we are able to see him fully when he's standing a bit behind, because the camera is much lower than where he's standing. And many of the times when we are not able to make an eye contact with the speaker, we tend to lose a bit of comfort that we get from a speech. It is not easy, mind you, in a digital age. But if the camera is at the eye level or at the same level as David's eye, it would help. Other thing I would say is the speech was all about attitudes to money, but in between there were too many examples of what is money. Going back in the past about the cryptocurrency, I would say if the main central idea is about attitudes of the money, yes, do touch upon at times, but I thought that what is money part was a bit more longer than what I would have done in my case. All in all, I think it was an excellent speech on what is money, what should be our attitude. David was very eloquent when he was able to take all the questions, and he answered it in a very satisfying manner. I don't really think like he was cutting any corners. He was explaining all the answers in a very well-rounded fashion. And in the last, he was also able to encourage us, to challenge us, and to improve our attitudes towards the money. I thought all in all, it was a great speech, and I commend David on having such a Q&A session for all of us. In between, there were quite a bit of things which were new to us and an eye-opener as well to improve our attitudes toward money. Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Sumit. Very quickly, what do you overthink and why?
I don't have any bias towards any particular topic in overthinking. So there was a time I would overthink on almost everything. But in last few years, whenever I'm overthinking, I just ask myself, my overthinking, would it give me any tangible results, or would I be at the same point after 5-10 minutes or maybe a few days as well? So I challenge myself now that my thinking in my head is not, if it is not going to yield me any tangible results, I tend to leave that thing out and just hope for the decision that I've taken based on the data, whether that is right or not.
Thank you, Sumit. Our second evaluator of the evening is Lucy. Lucy is evaluating Joanna Colasso. Please welcome Lucy.
Thanks, Madam Toastmaster. Dear fellow Toastmaster and guests, what an interesting first speech today we had by Joanna. Lots of energy, you can see it with her body language, smiling, and I also really like the positive thinking she had when she was explaining her story. I also really like the link she did with David about the mindset and how you can do everything you want. You just need to be motivated to do it. I will say perhaps two main things to even be better in the future. The first one is more the tense of the voice, because sometimes I thought that the delivery was perhaps a bit too fast. And it could have been better to more have certain accentuation depending on the topic Joanna was speaking about. And the second point is more about description and structure of the speech, because at a certain point I was a bit lost because Joanna was speaking about her life when she was 8-9 years old, and after she jumped toward her education and her degree. So I was a bit lost. So I would say it was a really nice first speech with a really positive body language, a really lovely energy, but just these two small points to even have a better speech the next time. And thank you very much, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Lucy. We can't let you go back. You have to tell us, what do you overthink about?
I will say at the moment it's more work because you are sometimes spending so much time at a certain point that it's really hard just to think about something else. And also with working from home, sometimes you don't have this break. So yeah, I will say that.
Thank you, Lucy. It's now time to hear our last evaluation of our last speech. I'd like to now invite Simon, who is evaluating Flora. Please welcome Simon.
Thank you. When Flora, sorry, can you hear me? Yes, sorry. When Flora began to speak, I was glad to see that she was standing up, because instantly that commands authority and leadership. So you know that Flora means business. However, it was reversed for a short while by the fact that she was hand clasping, which is something that I would not normally expect a leader to exhibit. I'd expect her to give more exaggerated movements, more in control. It was interesting how she began with a story about a blind man on a walk being led by a lady called Caroline, who was having to describe the journey to him, telling him the path he would have to take, the difficulties that he would be facing, but ultimately guiding him to the destination, which was a phenomenal view. And those were three interesting points, which she then extrapolated and brought back to us and saying, effectively, this is what a real leader should have. They should be able to guide people. They should have direction, and they should be able to follow it through. But at the same time, they have to ensure that they have the full team with them. Otherwise, it's not leadership, it's just a journey for one. And she exemplified this by with the problems she had with her colleagues last year because of COVID, the fact that they would have to make phenomenal changes, yet her team was blinded. They didn't know what to do. They didn't know how to achieve what they were meant to achieve. So Flora, using the techniques which she picked up from that walk, obviously explained to her team in great detail what they would have to do, how they could achieve it, and what the end result would be. Effectively, she was seeing one, doing one, and teaching one. And I think those three core values encapsulate a good leader just as much as the vision and the ability to get people on board. And I think, Madam Speaker, that's all I would like to say. I think I'd like to address some more comments to Flora in writing as opposed to verbally. It was a very, very good speech. There's certainly no negative comments I want to make, but I just think there are nuances which I want to perhaps try and get across to her on a one-to-one basis, as opposed to bringing them to everybody else's attention. So thank you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Simon. I think I'm not the only one who's afraid of asking you this question now. Should we ask you what you overthink and why?
Overthinking was actually Flora's speech, because I'm not of that kind of background. It was very interesting, but I was sort of finding it difficult. What can I actually extrapolate from that speech? I think in a way it was wasted on me because I didn't appreciate everything that Flora was saying. I think people like David who have been in management can understand it. They can pick it up, they can dissect it and say yes, 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 and yes. For me, I felt that I wasn't perhaps as appreciative of it as I should have been, but that's only because of my own ignorance, not of anything that Flora has said. So I think I'll be constantly thinking about what I've just said, what I said during the evaluation, and constantly beating myself up about it. So I think I will leave it at that.
Thank you, Simon. We're now coming to the end of the first half of our meeting, but before that, could I quickly request our timekeeper to give us the times of all the speeches?
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. So first advanced speech, David is 21 minutes, 3 seconds for his 20-minute speed, 1 minute, 3 seconds longer. Joanna is 6 minutes, 24 seconds for her 6-minute speech, 24 seconds longer. Flora Ruffin is 7 minutes, 28, her 7-minute speech, 28 seconds longer. Evolution, Sumit Singh is 2 minutes.
Molly, we'll come to the times of all the evaluators afterwards in the second half of the meeting.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. It is now time for our network break, but could I please quickly request our guests to introduce themselves and please tell us why they are here and whether they are enjoying the meeting. And if they do want to add, they can tell us what they overthink about. But please keep it very short, very brief, because we are overrunning time today. So could I please invite Bridget, first of all. Bridget.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Bridget Faubert. I live in Brentford and I'm a member of the Rotary Club of Hounslow. I'm retired from business where I used to do public affairs and corporate social responsibility. I'm here because I know that my speaking style needs to be improved. And that is the hubris of being aware that Toastmasters can help me in that. And I claim my prize for saying hubris first.
Sure you did. Could I now please request Abby to tell us about her experience of the first half of the meeting and why she's.
Hi, I'm Abby Jesus-Smith. I live in Hayes. I'm trying to set up my own business. I'm here to try and improve my public speaking because I've got the confidence I'm not good enough kind of thing going on in my head. And so I feel that Toastmasters would be a venue to help me to overcome that.
Thank you, Abby. I'd like to now go to Hyun. Hyun, what brings you to Trojan Speakers Club today?
Hello, hi everyone. My name is Hyun. I'm based in Seoul. Actually, I heard about Toastmaster through a podcast. It's called the Sideways on BBC Sound. I don't know whether you have heard of it. Anyways, that brought me here. I was telling some of you earlier, and yeah, I have a lot of anxiety in speaking in group, in public. And I've been looking for a community where I can kind of practice without having too much fear of being judged. And so, yeah, that's why I'm here. Thank you.
Thank you, Hyun. I'd like to go to now, please pardon my pronunciation. Is it Lords? Lords, could you please introduce yourself?
Hi, yes, it's Lords. I'm Lords Barnes. I used to be part of the club about, I think, a year and a half ago. And I'm thinking of joining again. So I just wanted to see what it was like. So hello, Flora. I remember you from ages ago. All right.
Hi, Lords. Good to see you.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you, Lords. And now I'd like to go to Bonnie. Please.
Hi, everyone. Hello, Trojans. I am the Assistant Area Director of D29, today visiting Trojans. Some of you we've met all throughout the years. My home club is Riverside Communicators, which is within the area. And I must say that I apologize for taking me so long to get to visit Trojans first time at the club setting. And so today I have a job to do to sort of evaluate the club as an area director visit on behalf of Raki. Yeah, it's good to see all of you in action. And I do miss the times where we were able to see each other in the hall, and all your lovely hospitality Trojans have always extended during area contests. But yeah, I hope to be back again. Thank you.
Thank you, Bonnie. And now time to give ourselves a little break. Usually we take 10 minutes break, but today I'm gonna use my powers, show my hubris, hate me if you want to, but let's come back in 5 minutes because we are overrunning by almost 20 minutes. So take a break of 5 minutes and please come back. That is, okay, let's make it 2100, 9 p.m.
Hi, Simon.
Hi, Momo. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How have you been? How was your week?
Not bad, not bad, not bad. Just getting used to the colder temperatures.
Yes.
I'm a very warm-blooded creature.
Yeah.
I'm not one for the cold weather.
Yeah, I
At
think most
all.
people doesn't like the cold weather. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, sort of, and also I can't believe it's going to be Christmas in a month's time.
Yes.
It's crazy.
Yeah, goes so quick, isn't it?
I don't know. I think it goes quicker the older you become.
Yes.
But yeah, it's yeah, another year over, and I guess in January, hopefully, we'll be having physical meetings. Although I suppose the meeting in December, the get together, that will be a good way of just getting people used to being around each other physically.
Yes, yes, yeah. I think it's likely that we might go back to physical meeting anytime soon. So
Yeah, I must admit, I do struggle with Zoom.
yes.
But yeah, that's how it goes. That's how it goes. And I feel bad for Flora because I think I really did didn't do a good an evaluation as she deserved. I mean, it was it's one of those subjects where if you don't really understand it, you just really are struggling as to how to address it. Even with the help on the agenda.
Yes.
Yeah, I still found it difficult. I think evaluating either David's or the other young lady's speech, Joanna's, would have been far easier.
No, but I
Then
think you did
it's easy for me
really
to
well.
understand.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, sort of evaluations are never my favorite thing to do.
I have never done that till now because I'm just too scared to do that.
Well, I mean, sort of, it's easier for me just to blag and just talk absolute rubbish for 2 minutes. You know, I feel more comfortable doing that.
Yes.
But you know, speaking in front of an audience and just sort of giving feedback, no, that's not easy at all.
Yeah, it's not. It's not. And it is the role that I have to take. I have never done that.
Well, I said, yeah, it's something you should do, and I think the longer you leave it, the harder it becomes.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, you need to sort of do one sooner rather than later, and then it
yeah,
you won't be as scared. I mean, you know, you'll make loads and loads and loads of mistakes.
Yes.
But then, you know, you learn by getting feedback.
Yes. Yeah.
So you're being evaluated by other people.
I have been many times, but I just need to evaluate someone.
No, but it's good because when you go to the physical meetings and we fill in the paper slips, that's actually quite good because then it gives you a chance to sort of write. You know, you limited the space that you can write on, so you have to be limited to what you can say. So you have to be succinct.
Yeah, sure.
In what you say, and that's, you know, quite good practice.
Yes.
And even when you hear the evaluators, you think, well, I never thought about it like that. That's actually a good point, or I disagree with them on that. And everyone's individual. Everyone will see the same speech differently, hear it differently.
Yes.
And judge it differently.
Yes.
But anyway, that's enough of me blagging.
Thank you.
It was almost a table topics.
All right. Is everyone back refreshed with their cup of tea or coffee or gin and tonic or whiskey? Breaking ice. Now it's time for the most fun part of the evening, personally, the most fun part of the evening, and that is table topics. I'd like to invite our table topic master, Momo, to the stage. Please welcome Momo.
Thank you so much, Nista. And this is the most fun and exciting part of the meeting. And I remember being into the physical meeting back in 2009. And after one question I was asked, I ran away. But after I joined back to the meeting again, I realized this is the most fun and exciting time. So yet today I'll be your table topic master, and I'll keep the question simple. And I'll only have about 5 questions since we are quite short of the time. My first question will go to Bonnie. And the question is, what was the worst haircut you ever had? What was the worst haircut you ever had? Bonnie.
Okay. Topics master. The worst haircut that I've ever had. Well, I'm now very particular about my hairdressers because I've had bad experiences in a lot of ways, and I think I like to build that personal relationship with them. Still remember the time when I visited one particular hairdresser, and then he said, "Your hair is dead. Just cut them all off. Cut." And then I think I didn't have much of it left, and I looked like a boy. I think very short hair. And one thing, when I went home, I looked in the mirror, and I really didn't like that fringe at all, because it reminded me of how my Lego figurines have, and their hair is plastic, and their hair is molded on like at the set format, and I had my hair just like that. It was horrible. That really taught me a lesson. Really have to interview my hairdressers properly, get a very good consensus, and not let them take charge before they start using those scissors on me. Thank you. Topics.
Thank you, Bonnie. And my second question is, what food do you love that other people might find it a bit odd? What food do you love that other people might find a bit odd? The question goes to Bridget.
Yes, well, in these modern days of veganism and vegetarianism, there is actually quite a lot of food that I like that some of the people would find really odd. But I suppose my favorite one is the taste of it takes me back to my childhood, and that's bread and dripping, which is in some ways very bad for you, particularly if you have a high cholesterol problem. But a lot of people find that very odd to sort of eat, basically spread fat onto a piece of bread and then eat it. That's my favorite food that people might find a bit odd.
Thank you, Bridget. And my third question will be, can you let us know what it's like eating ice cream with a fork? Can you let us know what it's like eating ice cream with a fork? And the question go to Yun Lee.
Oh, so the question is, what is like to eat ice cream with fork?
Yes.
All right. Okay. It's fun. I mean, no one expects you to eat ice cream with a fork. So you will stand out, and people see you thinking, oh, what this guy is doing. So you get some attention. So it gives you some excitement. Oh, people are looking at me, and then yeah, with the fork you can step it, also you can pick it up, and then yeah, I think you have a more option to play with it, and then yeah, that's all I can think at the moment. It's fun. It's fun, and then you get attention, and still you can have it and enjoy it.
Thank you, Yuan. And my next question will be, how would you conduct a full day without using your hand? How would you conduct a full day without using your hand? And my question will go to Lord.
Thank you. I've never thought about that. Without using my hands, I've seen somebody do that who had no hands, but they learned to do it with their feet. I think it would be something that you would have to learn and practice. I think initially you would need some help, or I would need some help. But I think it can be done, and what I've seen of this person, he managed very well without the hands, and I'm sure that I could do it, but with a lot of practice. I think that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. And my next question is, can you explain why restaurant food is better than home cooked food? Can you please explain why restaurant food is better than home cooked food? And the question go to Abby.
Was that me?
Yes.
Hello, thank you. Why restaurant food is better than home cooked food? I don't think restaurant food is better than home cooked food. But I guess there's the illusion that it could be better. That's because it's different from the normal. So so in that case, it's better. Someone else is cooking it, you're not cooking it. So you're not going through if you don't enjoy cooking, like I don't enjoy cooking. So the pleasure of having somebody else do it for me and serve me makes me feel that it's better than home cooked meal. I don't have to do the dishes. I don't have to chop off the stuff. So yeah, so it could appear in my head that it's better, but in reality, I don't believe that restaurant foods are better, because at least with the home cooked meal, I know what's going in. I don't know what's going in there. It could be things that I don't like to be put in. So that would be my opinion. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Abby. And Madam Toastmaster, do we have time for one more question?
I'm afraid, Momo, I'll have to stop you here. We have lots of other reports as well, but thank you very much. But before you go, could you please tell us, what do you overthink about?
What do I overthink about is going to party, any party. I do always overthink what to wear, what other people are going to think, and will I be comfortable over there? And I always overthink, and in the last minute, it turned out I never attend the meeting. But I'll make sure on our Christmas meeting, I'll make sure I'll be there. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Momo. Could I please invite our Madam Timekeeper back to the stage again to give us the times of all the table topic speakers, please?
Thank you again, Madam Toastmaster. Tony took 1 minute 35 seconds. Bridget took 50 seconds only. Yoon Lee took 1 minute. Lourdes took 40 seconds only. Abby took 1 minute 1 second.
Thank you, Molly. Do we have a poll for the best table topics?
No, I'm sorry, I can't launch it.
Well, in that case, could everybody please send their choices to Momo, please? Momo, is that okay?
Yes, that's fine.
And now it's time to invite our last evaluator of the evening, Dil Limbu. Dil will be evaluating all the table topic speakers. Please welcome Dil Limbu.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, Trojans, and most welcome guests. As your evaluator today, we don't have much time, but I'm going to very quickly whiz through some things that I like about the speaker and a recommendation. So first off, it was Bonnie. She had repeated question and had great hand gestures with cutting scissors and stuff. Would have liked to see a lot more from her, more hand gestures, exaggerated. And Bridget, straight to the question. Sorry, I feel like I'm echoing. Hello? Hello? Okay, great. So she dove right into the question very confidently, and great. Well done to that for that. Would have loved to see you use your hand gestures more and speak at least for a minute. I think she did under 1 minute. And Hyun asked the question again. Great way to buy some time. Great hand gestures. Would have liked to see your camera angle a little bit low so we can see more of your hands. Lord dove straight into the question very confidently. Loads of facial expression. Again, your camera angle was too close to your face. A bit further back would be great. And finally, but not least, Abby repeated the question again to buy some time and had great hand gestures and facial expressions. Again, I would have loved to see more of your hands. Thank you. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Dil. Very quickly, are you an overthinker?
Oh, I used to be a lot overthinker. I mean, I used to overthink of every single thing, like, oh my God, their response, people's response, or like some events that happened, anything like that. I used to think a lot. But then I've been through this meditation retreat, and I kind of started to reflect a little bit more on myself and take more deep breaths. And now when I start overthinking, I just ask myself, does it really matter? Or I just be like, so, and then just try not to overthink it. But of course you will overthink it, but I try not to.
Thank you, Dil. And now for the last time, I'd like to invite our Madam Timekeeper back to the stage so that she can give us the times of all the evaluators. Please welcome back Molly.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. So first evaluator, Sumit Singh, took 2 minutes 30 seconds, is 3-minute evaluation time. Lucy took 1 minute 12 seconds for her 3-minute evaluation time. Simon took 3 minutes 13 seconds for his 3-minute evaluation time. And Dil Limbu took 1 minute 41 seconds for her 9-minute evaluation time.
Thank you, Molly. I'd like to now call for a vote for our best evaluator. Since we are not able to launch the vote, could I please request you to send your choice to Momo again? Thank you. Moving on, let's invite our grammarian to the stage and find out whether we have used good language and whether we have used the word of the day. Please welcome back Pragati to the digital stage. Pragati.
Hi again. Overall, there was good use of language and grammar. Speakers made use of idioms, metaphors, sayings, and very interesting phrases in their speeches. Let me just list some of them. David made use of idioms like slice of pie, zero-sum game, putting yourself in someone else's shoes. Some of the interesting phrases he used were survive and thrive, money doesn't bring happiness, there's more money out there than you can imagine, universe is a benign thing, universe puts opportunity forward for you. Then Tanuj also used a metaphor, which was shifting the goalpost further and further. I think one of the favorite sentences for the day was Joanna's opening sentence. The best way to break the ice is to pour whiskey over it. She also used an alliteration in her speech, which was Victorian vibrant, to describe her godfather's expectation behind naming her John. She also said a quote by Richard Rohr, which was nothing to prove and nothing to protect. Then Flora said lights illuminating the bright colors of autumn to set a scene for us. She also used the phrase big picture thinking to describe visioning. I also like the use of words like despicable and extrapolated. Finally, as Bridget mentioned, she was the first one to use the word of the day, and Nishta also used the word of the day. Thank you.
Pragati, thank you. Are you an overthinker?
Of course. Of course I am. I overthink everything. There's no underthinking or the right amount of thinking for me.
Thank you, Pragati. And now I would like to invite our secret Hark Master to the stage. We didn't get an opportunity to introduce them. I'm not going to tell you he or she. And let's find out whether you've been paying attention or not, or whether you've been overthinking something else in the back of your mind. Dear Hark Master, please step forward, introduce yourself and ask away.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Madam Toastmasters. Good evening, everyone. I'm Luca. This is my first role during a contest. And this evening, I'm the Hark Master. The main purpose of the Hark Master role is to encourage effective listening during the meeting, to compiling questions and running a quiz session towards the end. So now I can start with the questions, I think. And so I go. First question is, during the introduction, what medal could Nishta win at the Overthinking Olympics? David?
Gold, silver, and bronze.
Right. Good. And second questions, what are the David's attitudes to money? What are the David's attitudes to money during the first speech?
Abundance?
Yeah. Yeah, please tell us, please.
Me?
Yeah. Sorry. Okay, Abby.
Abundance.
No.
Object.
No.
Yeah. And
Change of the item.
Sorry.
I said
it's all in our head. It's all in our head what we think money is.
Was it just two things?
I change.
Two things.
I change to other object. Is it?
Sorry?
I change to other object. Is it?
Is it limited belief or is it sarcasm?
How I
don't know how to pronounce it. Sarcasticity mindset, is it?
Scarcity.
Scarcity, yeah.
Anyone remember was two things.
Overthinking was one of them.
One was balance, and David says, I'm balanced, and another thing about money.
B, right.
Calm.
Yeah, quite. Balance and quite was. Okay. I can go forward with the third questions about David. David says in his speech, money equals what?
Money.
Right, Abby. Good. Good. Four questions. What topic did David study at uni?
Economics.
Right, economics. Right. Good. 5. David says, our mentality about money is about two things.
Scarcity mindset and abundance.
Yeah. Scarcity and abundance.
Right, good. 6 questions. 6 questions. How much money did the government create during the pandemic? How much money?
3 trillion.
How much?
3 trillions.
10
no,
trillion.
more.
10 trillion.
10, right. Right, 10. And
Just ask one more question and hand it back to us, please. Sorry, we are running out of time.
yeah, sure. The last questions about Joanna. In her speech, Joanna was born after how many siblings?
8.
4. 5.
5, right. Good, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Luca. And with that, I'd like to hand it back to our president, Madam President.
Thank you, Nishta. Thank you, and thank you to everyone. Yeah. So we'll go through the award of the evening. So Momo, do you want to cover that part?
Sorry?
Do you want to do the award? I don't think I've
Yes,
got the,
yes. Can we all have drum roll first, please? We can all unmute and have the drum roll. Our best speaker for today is David. And table topic speaker. Can anyone guess who is that? It's Bonnie. And best evaluator of the day is me. Well done, everyone.
Well done, everyone, and thanks, Momo. Tonight also we will do a little celebration for division contest winner because we have the champion with us, and Bonnie has prepared something. So Bonnie, I'm gonna make you co-host so that you can share your presentation.
Hello, everyone. So as you have probably know that on the 13th of November, we had the Division D contest. There were 2 contests, humorous speech contest and the table topics contest. And those who have been following, you would know that Trojans member Nishta has been crowned the champion of the humorous speech contest for Division D. We have very good competition from 4 areas, a very full contest, 8 contestants, and she won the prize. So I know, let me just show you the certificate if you can see it. Okay, so yeah, I'd just like to present first of all the certificate. You can see the certificate. to Nishta, but we also have a little something for her. And I think I must say that now in the sort of the online situation, it's hard to present, but we do have a little trophy, a little memento here. I don't know whether I can show up. I might have to turn my background off. Yeah. So let me see. Let me do that. You can see that. Yeah. My. So that's congratulations. That's a little trophy for you, and which will be delivered. But I would have wished that we could do it in real person setting. But yeah, hopefully that's congratulations from my side. Well done, Nishta. Well done, everybody.
Thank you, Bonnie.
We will see.
Thank you.
Well, please keep your diaries free, because second week of May in the district conference, she will represent Division D in the finals amongst all of District 91. So please keep your diaries free and support her. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Bonnie.
And Bonnie, is that possible to have a recording of the speech, or is that something that we don't know if that could be an interest for everyone to watch a speech?
Yeah. Now the recording of the speech is available, and I believe it's been shared to Nishta herself, and for and I guess the directive is that she only use it for her personal use, because I suppose for contest rules, you might not want to sort of put that on the public domain. Like, I mean, if there's something within the club or something, then just with Nishta's permission, she might want to show it to members of the club, but sometimes it's sort of discouraged to put it in other competitors.
Bonnie, I don't have access to it, nor anyone has shared the file with me. But if I have the link, at least I'd like to watch it again or share it with the members of our club. I don't have access to it.
Oh, okay, all right. I think maybe yeah. I think the Zoom master was sorting that out, so we need to get in touch with him, see what's happening there. Yeah.
Great, thank you. No, thank you. It was a wonderful speech. In terms of other club business, what I wanted to remind you, yes, so we have agreed a date on the end of the year celebration, and a lot of yourself members are coming actually on the 7th of December. So that's great to have your participation, and as well a few of you have put themselves forward to help us to set up that event. We actually will meet at the church, so that will be a really nice way of actually going back to where we normally meet before COVID. The other thing as well is pointing out that the 8th of December will be our last meeting of the year. So we have, we normally meet on the 2nd and the 4th Wednesday of the month, but because the 4th Wednesday will be the 22nd of December, just before actually Christmas, we've decided to actually cancel that meeting. So the 8th of December will be the last meeting this year, and then we'll start again next year. The speeches slot are filling up very quickly. So please, if you want to make a speech, and I'll encourage you to prepare, when do you want to speak, and keep that momentum, because yeah, the slot are filling up, which is great. And then finally, we ran a little survey in terms of return to physical meetings. So we had a good return, like good answer back. Overall, it looks like most of you are pretty much, undecided. So it just seems to work either way. But what we've decided as a committee is to look at going back in February. So we are looking first at the arrangement and see, what's possible. Obviously, there's a bit of logistic to arrange it. So we'll confirm the plan when they are firmed. But we are looking at the option of coming back in February. And I also like to see if, it's possible to have kind of an hybrid meeting where we can actually have a Zoom meeting as well at the church, because there is Wi-Fi over there. So we're looking to option. It takes a bit of time for us to just see what's possible, but we are working on it, and hopefully in the new year we'll have firmer plan to confirm. So thank you very much for the evening. I don't know how you think how the evening went. If you want to share a few thoughts or you're all happy, great. It was lovely to see you, and I hope I'll see you, physically on the 7th of December at the church. Thank you very much.